No one remembers her real name. History chose a different one for her. But what she did, no one has ever forgotten. And the empire she walked into as a slave, she would one day walk through as its most powerful woman. She didn't arrive at the Ottoman palace as a guest. She didn't arrive as a dignitary. She arrived in chains, taken from a small village in Ukraine. She was brought to Constantinople like thousands of others before her. A slave, a number, a face among many. The palace had seen hundreds like her, trained, watched, forgotten. Most of them never spoke above a whisper. Most of them learned that silence was the only safe language. But something was different about this one. Not in the way she looked, not in the way she moved. There was something behind her eyes, something that refused to disappear, something that watched, that calculated, that waited. The first time Suleiman noticed her, it wasn't supposed to mean anything. Sultans noticed many women. They moved on. They forgot. That was the nature of power. Emotion was a weakness no sultan could afford. His father had understood this. His grandfather had understood this. Every sultan before him had understood this. But this time, something didn't let go. Days passed, then weeks, and slowly, without anyone quite understanding how, she began to occupy a space in his mind that no one else had ever reached. He began asking about her, quietly, carefully, to people he trusted, then to people he perhaps shouldn't have trusted. Because in a place like the Ottoman palace, interest was never just interest. It was politics, it was danger, and it was already too late to stop it. The other women noticed first. They always did. A glance that lasted too long, a silence that said too much. Nothing anyone could prove. But proof was never necessary inside those walls. Suspicion was enough. And suspicion was already spreading like smoke through every corridor. There was one woman in particular who watched all of this. Her name was Mahidevran. She had been there longer. She had given him a son. She believed she understood the rules of this palace. She had survived things that had broken other women, and she had done it by understanding one simple truth. Power in the Ottoman court was never given. It was taken, quietly, patiently, but the rules were about to change. Because Hurrem didn't play by the rules. Not because she was reckless, because she understood something the others didn't. In a place where every woman waited to be chosen, she chose herself. She didn't wait in silence. She spoke. She wrote. She made herself impossible to ignore. Letters reached Suleiman when she wasn't in the room. Her words stayed with him when she was far away. She made him feel something no palace protocol could explain. And slowly, the most powerful man in the world began to need her. Not want, need. That was the moment everything shifted. The palace had never seen anything like it. A sultan who didn't move on. A slave who didn't disappear. The whispers grew louder. The tension inside those walls became almost unbearable. Because what was happening wasn't just unusual. It was impossible. It broke every tradition the Ottoman court had ever known. Slaves were not loved. Slaves were not kept. And slaves were certainly never made into wives. Those who tried to warn him were ignored. Those who tried to intervene quickly learned the cost of standing between Suleiman and what he wanted. But Suleiman didn't care about tradition anymore. He cared about her. And that single fact terrified everyone around him. There are decisions in history that look small from the outside, a signature, a ceremony, a quiet announcement. But inside those palace walls, what Suleiman did next sent shockwaves through every corner of the empire. He didn't just keep her close, He freed her, and then he married her. A slave, a foreigner, a woman with no family, no name, no title. He made her Hurrem Sultan, his legal wife, the first in Ottoman history. The grand viziers were silent, the scholars were careful with their words, and Mahidevran was left with nothing but her fury and her memories. What happened after that is a story of power unlike anything the empire had ever seen. She didn't just survive the palace, she shaped it. Every decision, every alliance, every enemy. Nothing moved in that court without passing through her. She outlived her rivals. She outlasted those who had underestimated her. And the woman who arrived in chains left a mark on history that 600 years still haven't erased. The question isn't how she did it. The question is, why did they let her?